Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to a somewhat probably abbreviated version of Cartoons Etc. As many of you guys know, Joe Dan had a heart attack last week. I don't know, I don't know if it was something I said or whatever, but anyway, he had heart bypass surgery, but he insisted on coming on the show. And we're going to bring him on right away. We're not going to do any kind of intro video like we usually do. But ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Joe Dan Gorman. Hey, wild man, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Yeah, man. A funny thing happened to the last show. Actually, I think it started before the last show. Well, I mean, were we on last week?
No, it was
Yeah,
week before.
yeah.
We
That's
didn't do a
and it
show
was,
last week.
and it was something you said.
Yeah, I thought so.
You son bitch. That's Claudette K and Fancy.
Well, they're already missing your bad jokes. We had Nancy Rice said, "Here's a joke for Joe Dan. Is it true that cannibals won't eat clowns because they taste funny?"
Oh God!
There's your bad joke right there.
Well, yeah, the tradition continues. The tradition continues. Nicely done.
A lot of well wishes going on over here in the chat.
Well, I want to thank everybody. The love I've been feeling, and I'm gonna tell you, I've had like intimate experiences with our medical system over the decades. You know, from my mom and my dad and my aunts and uncles and grandparents and blah blah blah. I was in the hospital for like 10 days. That's the worst experience I've ever had in my life. On the bright side, I had the best surgeon, and Dr. Kaiser, dude, is a rock star. It's a shame that his amazing work is overshadowed by the absolute disgusting performance of our medical center. And you know, they took me in there. One of the funny things is I made it out. I survived. But you know what didn't survive? My armpit hair. My armpit hair. It's like I ain't never shaved my armpit hair. All right, we're gonna have to shave you. So why? What the hell are you doing? You got plans I don't know about?
This is transgender surgery.
Yeah, they're like, so we're gonna shave your armpits too. That won't make me gay, will it? Hell no. But they shaved me like an eel. I can swim so fast. Watch out. But yeah, everything survived but the armpit hair.
Well, praise God for that.
Yeah, but I tell you, all jokes aside, these people need to be fired. You know, the most important thing is I went in there at 3 a.m. A week ago this past Monday, whatever 10 days ago was, 3 a.m. in the morning. And they kept me there from 3 a.m. until 3 p.m. And I mean, they put me through. They had the EKG and then the not the sonogram, the thing they put on babies.
Yeah.
The ultrasound, and then all the things. They did stress tests, and so I've been there like 10 hours, or no, 12 hours. I've been there 12 hours, and they said, your heart's fine. We were sending you home. And I was in this, see this building behind me? It's called the Williamson Medical Center. We'll get to that in a minute. But Williamson, beautiful new facility. But the nurses told me, well, there were 3 doctors. They said, all your tests look great, so you need to go home. There's nothing wrong with your heart. Well, they were just slightly off. I ended up coming back for open heart surgery. Just like, if you can see a little bit of that, I won't get into it. But yeah, it's kind of a freaky thing.
Yeah, I broke a nail once.
Yeah, that's what caused my heart attack, actually.
Wow. So the hospital you started at wasn't the hospital you ended up at.
No, they moved me. So they sent me home.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? So I'm out in my car, and they're like, well, you're fine. And I'm still feeling those funky changes, the pains in my chest.
Yeah.
And then when you're having a heart attack, your left arm gets wonky too. It feels, you know, something's up. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you got the cold sweats.
Yeah.
So I went home, and this was like 3:00 in the afternoon now. And I was just so exhausted. I'd been up since 3 a.m. That was actually it's before that. And I come home and I just laid down on my bed. I just wanted to sleep. Yeah. And as soon as I laid down, man, the pain and everything I'd experienced at 3 a.m. had come back tenfold. It was like, what the hell? You know about the scariest, most traumatic thing I've ever experienced medically, because these doctors, they just told me, my doctors just told me we were fine. There's nothing wrong. So I'm like, what's wrong? Something's wrong. And finally, after we went along, after about 45 minutes, I said, this is bullshit. I called my son. I had him take me back. And I'm like, do I go to the same hospital where they screwed everything up? And I'm like, well, you know what? I know they've got a good reputation. I'm not going to, just throw out an entire hospital based on the actions of a few. And plus, they already had all these tests that I knew I'd have to take again.
Yeah.
And so we went back there, and this time, yeah, they were like, what the hell? The people who admitted me, like, were so apologetic. So we can't believe they sent you home. But they didn't know, they wouldn't let me talk to a doctor. It was just the nurses. The doctor says you're fine. You go home.
Wow.
What the hell, man? So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, long story short, we're good. And you see Williamson Medical Center. It's quite possible that will soon be Frog Leg Medical Center. I'm like, oh hell no! Somebody's got to pay for this. And you know what? I don't even care. It's not even about me. But the apathy, the DEI in these hospitals. Oh. So they moved me to Nashville, and another DEI, and the rooms were filthy. We got Darcy renting a house and Claudette and no one.
Mm-hmm. Can I say something about this? When we went down to Nashville a few weekends ago, I mentioned to April, I says, he doesn't look well. She says, yeah, he doesn't look, he looks kind of peaked, kind of sweaty, and just kind of.
That's when it started.
Yeah, I said, he doesn't look well. And I said, I'm really worried about him. And April said, yeah, you're right. Now, I did the same thing with my brother 2 weeks before his heart attack. I said to April, I said, my brother, he doesn't look well, because he came over to the house and he had a heart attack like a week or two later after that. And there's just something about it, so I hope, I feel like I should have said something, but I didn't want to offend you. So, hey buddy, you don't look good. Well, thanks.
Yeah, well, you offended me by showing up. No, it was a fun time. We didn't have the people there to help us that we were expecting. Mm-hmm. And so it was a very hot Middle Tennessee day, and I'm out there moving stuff with my fat ass, acting like I'm Charles Atlas or something. I don't know.
Well, you look stressed out too, and I looked at all the stuff you had brought in and were carting around, and I said, man, this is a lot of work. Next year we'll
stereo speakers and food and
we'll plan a little bit.
Amy's telling me I have to shut it down. I've been on here long enough, so I just want to say we're gonna be fine, and I'm telling you, this is It'll take a little bit to get over with. But we'll be back here next. I'll be back next Wednesday. I'm pretty sure. I will be more in line with things.
Don't overdo it. Take it easy and make sure you take time to heal. You know?
Hey, I got a song. I brought a song. If you don't mind playing it as I leave. And God bless you guys. God's got this. We got to fix our medical system for our kids.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot for stopping in and giving us an update.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, bye. And here's that song, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you ever take a look to see who's still around? Everyone I thought was cool is 6 feet underground. Don't you know they tried to get me lots of times? Now they're coming after you. I got out and I'm here to say, maybe you can get out too. Yeah, yeah, I'm still alive and well.
This is Rick Derringer. Originally done by Edgar Winter. Johnny Winter, I'm sorry. But I thought it was a, appropriate song for today for Joe Dan. And this is kind of the
past, it only brings me down. Check it out. Now Jesus is my savior and the truth is what I found.
it's a Christian version.
Feels so good, the peace inside and the joy I've got to share. Make me shout, tell the world about a love beyond compare. Yeah, yeah, I'm still alive and well. Still alive and well. Jesus Christ has risen up to heaven from the grave, and he's still alive and well. Yeah, yeah, still alive and well. Still alive and well. Jesus is the answer, come to set his people free, and he's still alive and well. Yeah!
Joe Dan is still. Praise God.
Jesus is the answer, come to set his people free, and he's still alive and well. Yeah, he's alive and well. He's alive and well. He's alive and well. He's alive and well. Whoa, he's alive. He's alive and well. He's alive. He's alive and well. He's alive.
I'll be back with some cartoons in just a minute.
Still alive and well.
Okay. To the stage. Here I am. Whoops. Just got bumped out again. Okay. Oh, there I am. Okay. Sorry about that. We're going to go into some cartoons here. Joe Dan left us a couple of videos, but he had to take them with him back. So I'll just get right to the cartoons of the last week or two before this happened. And I'm going to read some of your comments. Some of the people we have, we have Mike Howe, the original. We have South Carolina Girl, of course. We have Knock My Socks Off, Lon Will, Kay Zenny, Mike Howard. Oh, I already said his name. You don't get two names called out. So Anna Lestenberg, good to see you. And over on the other chat, we have Amy Gorman, Jordan's sister. Hi, Amy. We'll pop her up here. Hi, Kyle and wife from Oklahoma. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, some more people coming in. We got Fancies here. Jen, us, Claudette K. Anyway, I'll bring up these cartoons here in just a second. Yeah, I'm a fish out of water without Joe Dan. So, like I said, I don't like to do this show without it because, number one, his personality and his videos and his bad jokes. So I'm going to try to pop up these cartoons so we can go over them real quick. Like I said, this might be an abbreviated version of the show. Share screen. I want to get, see, sometimes Joe Dan is talking while I'm doing this to kind of distract. And I'm popping them up here. So there we go. Let's see here. What do we got? There we go. Hang in there with me, folks. So here's the first cartoon. This is a cartoon I revised from years ago, revised from 2017. But, you know, with AI coming out, I put AI in there, and I think we should keep a few humans around to do jobs robots don't want to do. And I just threw that up on my site. And now we'll get into some other things. We had, of course, I do a cartoon every week for alphanews.org out of Minnesota. So it has to pertain to something that's going on there. And what you had is the DFL, which is the Democratic Party, somehow voted this guy, Fada, in, and now they're regretting it. So they're trying to vacate his nomination. But then you have Ilhan Omar over here trying to keep him alive in the campaign. And of course, she says, what fraud? Because there was a lot of fraud going on and a lot of election fraud going on there, from what I understand. And then, of course, you have the imposter trying to impersonate Trump by acting like Trump. And it's not going well for him. There's only one person that can do Trump, and that's Trump. And everybody that tries to outdo him always ends up by the wayside. So this is what this cartoon is for Americans for limited government. And you have Wake Up America. Trump has little hands. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, and then, of course, imitating me is the sincerest form of desperation, which was my take on it. Usually when we do these cartoons, I have Joe Dan puts in his 2 cents, throws in a bad joke or two, and kind of smooths it out, gives it a little bit of length to the program. And of course, we all heard about Crackle Barrel. Excuse me. They done bud lit themselves on fire. And that's very, which a lot of these corporations have made this mistake because they get a lot of these CEOs, I believe, they get them right out of college, out of woke institutions, and they bring their woke ideas right into the corporate world. And they don't understand their people. They don't understand their customers. And that's the problem that they have. And Bud Light, you can mention a few. And this is for swampmonsters.news. And I do a cartoon about once or twice a week for them. We'll move on to the next one. The Blue State Govs. What's up with using the military to address crime in our cities? And then you have Trump over here saying, holding a sign, Black lives really do matter. It's not just a slogan. And I seriously believe he's trying to clean up crime. But what are the Democrats doing? They're contesting everything he's doing. They're trying to stand in the way. Talk about being on the 20 side of every 80-20 issue. They're just going for their own demise, in my opinion. And that this cartoon is trying to address this. So we'll move on. That was for my own side. I put it up. Comically incorrect, if you want. And then this one, like a lot of you, I felt horrible about what happened in Minnesota. Another transgender tragedy where a transgender person all pumped up on some kind of mental drugs went into the church and shot up a bunch of kids. 2 of them passed away, and a bunch of others were seriously injured. And I didn't want to get too political with it, although the left has been very political about it. Of course, they're blaming the guns. And I just wanted to, have something more peaceful, more addressing the families, because I believe these children are with God now. And so it's kind of out of the norm of what I normally do. But when something like this happens, it's such a tragedy. I don't like to get political with it. Now, later on, I'll get political with the Democrats trying to use this as a way to take away all of our guns. They want to take away all of our guns so that we can't defend ourselves from idiots like this that somehow get a hold of a gun, and we can't do anything about it. Anyway, I've got one more coming up here. We're always hearing the Democrats and some Republicans are constantly calling us a democracy. We are not a democracy. There is not anything mentioned in the Constitution about us being a democracy. Yet they keep pounding that word, and I think the reason is because they're trying to destroy our constitutional republic. And they do it with words. Democrats always use words to undermine reality, undermine what's best for Americans. And so I decided to come out with this cartoon and try to punch it home a little bit, about as much as I can, because cartoons are just a small part of the conversation. They allow people to share them quickly, and I appreciate you guys sharing them a lot. I see that they're out there, they're bouncing around, and sometimes just an image is enough to drive it home for some people. Now, I've got another cartoon here. This came out today. These guys, Pritzker and Johnson, are constantly saying they don't need any help in Chicago. They had Labor Day weekend, had 58 people shot and 8 fatally wounded. And they just keep talking about how they don't need Trump. They'd rather see their citizens die. They'd rather see armed robbery, carjackings, and people injured than to actually ask Trump for help, because they don't want to give him any credit. So they're willing to allow their own people to die so they don't have to give them credit. And that's diabolical. That's evil. And so that was the last cartoon. And let me know what you think over there in the chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for helping me out here, because I feel like my right hand is missing during the show, and I don't have any bad jokes. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell them right. I'd screw them up. So never mind good jokes. I'd screw up a bad joke. So over there on the chat, Kzenny, no one has answered my question of who signed the A form 4733, which is the sale of the firearms that tranny used. Good question. I don't think the left is interested either. They just want to take everybody's gun away. Anna Lestenberg said, love the mayor's haircut. Great job, Tony. Thank you, Anna Lustenberg. And Kay Zinni, I thought Chicago was bad with Mayor Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Yeah, I did a cartoon about her a couple of times too. I should have brought that up. But this guy's worse. He has an 8% approval rating in Chicago. But the way they do their elections is really goofy too. Knock my socks off. You're doing fine, Tony. We all miss Joe Dan. You can do it. You can do it. I can do it. I'm trying. But I want to take this down. And I have some older cartoons. But first, I'd like to just show you my new, we've got some new things going on at my toon store. And now you can kind of count this as an advertisement, but I've had a lot of people asking about the calendar. And this last year, we got the calendar out way too late. And I don't think we got it out until February. And it was due to the fact that somebody was going to do the calendar, and they just kept dragging their feet. Finally, it turned into December and then January. So I took it into my own hands and tried to get something out, because a lot of people collect these, and everybody was asking, where's the calendar? Where's the calendar? And I said, well, I'm trying. Here we go. I'm going to try to get this up on screen, up on the screen thing, share screen. Here we go. Where's it at? There it is. I'm going to pop it up here, and I'm going to do full screen with this. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger if I can, a little wider. There we go. Getting it bigger. Okay. And this is the new calendar. Just came out, and this is the cover. And I think this is also one of the months. $29.99, really good paper, really good quality. I think these people did it last time, and some of the shots. This one here is for September because there's election coming up, and there you go, a little bit bigger. Election coming up, and the Democrats are really down low in the polls. We want to keep that up. We don't want them to gain any traction at all. So if we can get it, and we also have an assortment of cups. We have the Rising from the Ashes cup. We have, of course, Trump being protected by God cup. We have the eagle trying to claim the flag away from communism. And I call this Freedom's Battle. We also have, and that comes in white and black. And then we have the fight mugshot of Trump on a cup. And these are all my drawings. And this one here is from a painting I did. And we just moved it over. So, and here's the T-shirt of Rising from the Ashes. So if you go to Branco Cartoons Store, I think it's right up here, brancotoonstore.com, you'll get those. You'll be able to see what's going on. Now I'm going to move on to some older cartoons and see where am I at here? Okay, we're going to go over here and go to the older cartoons. Let me read a couple of these comments. Democrats go to church. Are they armed? Lon Will. Knock my socks off said, sweet, just in time for Christmas presents. Thank you, Knock My Socks Off. Mike Howard Original. Whoops, I just lost my earplug. Mike Howard Original. Where are we at here? I thought I saw him here. Oh, there. Here's a joke. 4 Democrats go to church. That's good. Mike Howard Original. What did Democrats say when given a Bible? It burns. It burns. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go to the extra cartoons. And like I said, what time is it? It's about, yeah. So I'm going to try to get to the, hang on a second, remove. Okay. I'm going to put myself back up in there. Boy, here we go. Okay. I'm going to find the screen there. I'm going to put the screen up and show some of the older cartoons. Window. There we go. And let's see. What do we got here? Okay. I just brought these older cartoons back because this is part of the problem. Warning, this is not an April Fool's joke. And I imagine this came out around April of 2022. So this has been going on for a few years, and it just seems to be getting worse. Maybe because of these shootings. If you look at all the shootings that have happened because of transgender mental illness, maybe they'll focus maybe on their medication or just address it in a different way. If somebody thinks they should have their left arm chopped off, they call that body dysmorphia. If somebody is anorexic and wants diet pills, they call that some kind of mental illness, and they address it as such. But when it comes to sex, the transgenderism, they just embrace their illusion, which is too bad. So I'll go on to the next one. Here's another one. A little girl running out of a bathroom and the guy calling her a bigot. Some of you guys have probably seen some of these cartoons before, and then of course, this is the way it feels to me with the media and the Democrats. They're destroying this country piece by piece. The media is helping them. And while they're doing it, while they're destroying it, they're demonizing the very people who are trying to fix it. And you know that with Trump, with crime, with the border, with health, all these things, they're attacking the solution because they want to stay in power. And the only way they can stay in power is to demonize the other side, because none of their ideas work. We've seen it for 4 years with that invalid in the Oval Office. And they were actually running things. So anyway, we'll go on to the next one. And here's the media again. A white gunman killed 10 people in Boulder. This is back in 2021. Media. And then somebody whispers in it, he was Syrian. And then, of course, they changed their tune. Lack of gun laws killed 10 people in Boulder. So that's how they do it. And I'll drop my earpiece again. See, Joe Dan's got me all riled up here. I can't even function. There we go. And let's see here. Armed staff on duty. School A or School B, gun-free zone. Guess which one they're going to pick? And this last transgender assassin, or whatever you call him, I don't like to use his name. He actually said in his memoirs, or whatever you call it. Anyway, you have Joe Dan here to remind me what things are. He actually said that the reason he picked that school was because he knew they were unarmed, and a lot of them do that. They pick gun-free zones. Now, if that sign said legal weapons are admissible, they probably wouldn't go in there knowing that they could get shot. And that does it for all the cartoons, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you coming in. We're not going to do a closing song or anything. I'm going to read a couple of more. What do we have here? We have Robbie and Scraft. I can't read that. I do love your cartoons. Wish I'd found you earlier. I so wanted someone to do a cartoon of Trump and Beto O'Rourke. side X side labeled beta and alpha. Hey, cool. I would have talked to you into it. Yeah, you might have. You might have. Beto's kind of a, well, he's been kind of in the news. And we've got, see, Charlie. Charlie, how you doing? We got, who else we got? Jim, cleverly manicure as an adult. Thank you for not telling bad jokes. You're welcome. You're welcome. I should get a raise for that. Fancy. Amazing how Tony's tunes are still true a decade later. That is kind of strange that after a few years, I mean, some of these cartoons are 10, 15 years old, and I can pull them up and they're still, because Democrats haven't changed. They're doubling down on stupid and lunacy. And I literally hope they keep it up, because I don't think they're going to fare very well in upcoming elections. But that's all I have, really. Nana Vicky had a good point. All schools should be guarded by retired veterans. I think that's a good idea. A lot of them would do it for nothing. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and let's keep the prayers going for Joe Dan. He's healing. Now, I've had a few friends. My dad had a heart bypass surgery, I think twice. And it takes a while to heal up to where you're back to feeling good. But once you do heal up, I've heard that they feel a lot better than they did, years before they had the surgery, because it's just kind of a slow process in there that deteriorates over time. So, yeah, a lot of prayers for Joe Dan, and we'll get him back on his feet in a week or so. I don't want to rush it, because I want him to be healthy and strong when he comes back. And, but anyway, I think I'm going to close out now and wish you all the best. And thank you for your prayers. Thanks for being there. And thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. There's a lot of things going on in the news, and I thought about recapping some of it. One of the places I like to go is the Gateway Pundit, because they show a lot of what's really important, coming from liberals, coming from conservatives, and the important stuff. I also watch a lot of War Room with over there at Bannon. He's pretty good. He gets into the weeds a lot, but he's very informed. I mean, if you want to be very informed on what's really happening behind the scenes with the DOJ and everything, you go to War Room and check it out. Meantime, have a good night, and thanks a lot. And we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you next weekend. Everything's kind of up in the air a little bit, so we'll talk to you later. Thanks.